Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to Breaking Dawn. The night after the night before, the morning after the morning before, whatever it was. But what a game that was. It felt like old times, guys. And you know what? I'm seeing a lot of pessimist people online, on social media, talking about, oh, it's only the Europa League, etc., etc. But let me tell you something. As a Manchester United fan since the late 80s, guys, you know what? I would tell everyone, not everyone witnessed the Sir Alex Ferguson period. Not everyone saw it. Not everyone enjoyed it whilst it was going on, because I, for one, took it for granted because I thought it would never end, to be honest with you. But these moments are so few and far between. When you're 4-2 down with a couple of minutes to go in injury time, in extra time, and you win the game 5-4, I mean, you have to really appreciate and enjoy it. Smile whilst you still have teeth, so to speak. And yesterday sort of got me in nostalgia mood. It got me in the mood to, you know what, think about what used to be, how we used to feel, you know, regularly. We used to be like this regularly, guys, under Sir Alex Ferguson. The amount of times we used to come back from goals down. I remember us being 3-1 down to Newcastle and winning 4-3 at Old Trafford. Though even just those moments, you know, they haven't been occurring lately. So when they do occur, we have no given right for these things to occur. They happened. And I have to give credit to the players at the end. I have to give credit to Ruben Amorim. You saw him with his ball at halftime, doing his tactics and stuff like that. You saw that, didn't you? I mean that he's, you know, give him the tools to succeed. He will bring trophies to Manchester United. I really believe that. I saw something yesterday. I was trying to search for something during the game. But you know, I wasn't getting anything, you know. And then at the end, they showed me something. I just wanted to see something. And as I've always said, that it's only a spark that you need to create history. You know, it's just a spark that you need. You need just that little bit of something to go your way. You know, could that be Ruben Amorim's Robbins moment, Mark Robbins moment? Could that be Ruben Amorim's moment where it all turned around on the brink? Of course, if Manchester United lost that game last night, it would have been an absolute toxic fest of negativity. We all know that. There still is people out there talking negative. No, I don't understand that, really. They're just miserable, to be honest with you. And you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it, because at the end of the day, nothing is given in football. We do not have a divine right to beat Lyon yesterday. We were poor for a lot of the game, but we won. And that is what football is all about, ultimately. Of course, there's a lot of improvement to be done. You know, we play in Athletic Bilbao, who are probably a better team than Lyon, have got better players in regards to world class. I mean, obviously, they've got the Williams on both wings, of course. We have to be ready for that game. We have to be better. We have to defend better. We can't make stupid mistakes. And we have to be commanding. We have to be authoritative. Conceding too many goals, putting ourselves into situations that we shouldn't even be in. Man United should have won that game 3-4, 5-0 yesterday. Let's be honest. Unfortunately, wrong choices again. And these are the moments in games that decide things. Luckily for us, that the heavens were on our side yesterday. And thanks to Maguire and Kobe Mainu, of course, and you know, the players who came off the bench who done really well. Harry Amas, big shout out to Harry Amas as well. Kobe Mainu. Big shout out to Kobe Mainu, of course. And you have to give credit to Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim sat there on his clipboard at halftime and extra time. He said, no one else go around me. No one else. I don't want anyone around me. And there he is doing all the tactics, etc., etc., etc. And it was a beautiful thing to see. Let's get into some of your comments, guys, real quickly. Big up everyone who's joined me this morning. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Good morning, Kenny. Come on, United. Big up, Kenny. Big up, everyone, of course. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? I don't know what happened. Darren, I'm in a daze. I went to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel like I haven't slept. at the end of the day. 3 more games to the final. Come on. We got 3 more games. We got 2 very difficult games against Athletic Bilbao. Tottenham play Bodo Glimt. What are the odds in Bodo Glimt winning against Tottenham? I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one for Bodo Glimt. Hopefully, Bodo Glimt can shock Tottenham, and we might play Bodo Glimt in the final. most likely, if we get through, we're going to play Tottenham. That's no disrespect to Bodo Glimt, but I just feel like we're going to play. We got Tottenham against Postecoglou, against Amram for Champions League qualification. I mean, that is going to be some game, of course, some game. Darren, so it's on Europa League. If we do well, if we beat, they're out to take the piss. Absolutely. If we do well, if we get beat, they're out to take the piss. Yeah, you know, this is the problem with people, Darren. You know, at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. We have to start somewhere. This is not Ruben Amram's team. You know, he hasn't got his players in there yet. But yesterday, I saw something in regards to character, and character is so important in football. Personality, not giving in. We were 4-2 down in 118 odd minutes. You know. And to come back and win 5-4, you know, I mean, I haven't seen that a comeback since 1998, 99. That was incredible. Obviously, the stakes are completely different. The game is completely different, but it's like a glimpse of what it used to be like. And we all remember the times under Sir Alex Ferguson, how it used to be like, the nights, the evenings, the afternoons when we used to come back, you know, we'd never beaten, you know. Game after game. I mean, I can name 10 games, like, just off my head, you know, the games that we come back and we won, you know, on the brink. And in 1998, 99, that epitomized what Manchester United were back then. And it seems like we've lost our way somewhat in regards to that. We give up too easily these days, and we don't come back, you know. And when we go 1-0 down, we've already lost. And that should never happen, you know. And yesterday, they proved to me, and Amram showed something yesterday that I believe that he's the right man to going forward, of course. Amak, good morning. Great game, but they got lucky. If the roles were reversed, people will be complaining about the red card and the penalty. I felt that the red card, Amak, was harsh. If I'm being fair to Lyon, I felt it was harsh. He just clipped his boot. It wasn't really a red, but it is what it is. In European football, you know what happens in Europe. It's very easy to get a yellow card. In regards to the penalty, Man United should have had another penalty, though, Almac. Maguire's shirt was pulled in the box. He didn't give the penalty. You know, so that these things kind of equal themselves out over a period of 2 games. But Man United, there's no doubt that Man United need to improve. But what we can do right now, the most important thing for Man United fans to do is enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment and worry about Athletic Bilbao when it comes. You know, if we go on to win this Europa League, we're not going to be looking at decisions against Man United. You know, if that favoured Man United in the quarterfinal. We're going to be looking at the trophy. That's all we're going to be looking at. You can't remember when Man United played Celta Vigo in the semi-final of the Europa League. No one cares. You know, we went through, we won the Europa League at the end of the day, but there were decisions in that game. You know, things happen sometimes. Man United shouldn't have had the player sent off against Real Madrid, all those years ago, 2013. Man United shouldn't have lost to Bayern Munich and had decisions go against them. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, that's life. The VAR is there. They didn't overturn the decision. It was a clip on the heel, but it was soft. But we got there, absolutely. Tyberg, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We never gave up, and I really do not care what anyone says. We deserve that, and we are in the semis deservedly. But what a roller coaster. It was emotional, Tyberg. It was really emotional. It was almost like the season-defining moment, wasn't it? And, we were about to pack it in for the season. We were like, we give up this season. That's it. Switch off, not watching any more games. That's it. It was like that, wasn't it? And just wait till the summer. But we came back and we didn't give up. A lot of us didn't give up. A lot of us did. Some of us did. You know, there's some people who left the ground yesterday. I've seen videos of people leaving the ground and obviously like madness. You know, I've never left the ground when I've been at Old Trafford. I've never left the ground ever. I wait till that final whistle, you know. And it was a beautiful moment. And it's something that, reminded me of who we were. You know, I need reminding, but it reminded me of what we used to do on a regular basis. It wasn't all plain sailing like everyone says. You know, we were down sometimes. We were losing sometimes. And the greatest thing about Manchester United over the history, the overriding thing that stands out above any other football team is adversity. Adversity to the stars. That's why I always say it in regards to Manchester United. And we suffered a lot of adversity in our history. And we won games through adversity, through being behind 1-0, 2-0, even 3-0. We've been down and we come back to win. And we've done that on many occasions. And yesterday, I feel like there are a lot of people who are very pessimistic still. But what we have to do is understand this, is that someone who has witnessed Sir Alex Ferguson's whole tenure at Manchester United, I did not appreciate it as much as I could have back then, because I felt like it would never end. These moments are few and far between these days. So it's very important that you enjoy them whilst they last, whilst they happen, because we have no divine right to beat Lyon yesterday. We were not the better team yesterday. Lyon outplayed us for large parts, even with 10 men. So for us to come back and win that game, we have to be happy. We have to celebrate. We can't dwell on it too much. We can't look at it and celebrate for the whole week. We got a big game coming up on Sunday, of course, against Bournemouth. We have to move on, but we can celebrate. Football's about celebrating, and and a lot of people refuse to do that, and I don't get it. Especially some of us who've supported United a very long time, and we know what standards are, but we're still celebrating because we know that these things can come and go. We know that success comes and goes. We could have easily been sitting here today, even if we drew 4-4. We're going to a penalty shootout. We could have been easily sitting here today saying that we've lost, we're out of the Europa League. There's nothing to play for. We're down. This is no point even watching football this season. It's over. We could have easily done that. That could have easily happened, but it didn't. And we won. And we're in the semi-final. And I think it's important that people remember that. Big up Tybo, by the way. Absolutely. Morning, guys. The only thing I need to advise Ruben is he should have been made a sub more early on in the game versus Lyon. I don't know. It's a butterfly effect, Chow. How do you know if we brought in the subs, we would have lost? We don't know that. One thing's for certain, at halftime and extra time, he got that clipboard out and he made sure we won the game. And you have to give credit where credit is due. And you have to say that this guy has shown great management there, great management skills. And there are people who are Ruben Amorim out. There are people who are edging towards that side of Ruben Amorim, and saying that, oh, he's this, he's that. We're going to criticize him. But they criticize him over the top. When you start criticizing the manager, it plants a seed, and we don't need that because we know that the problem is not the manager. Regardless what this manager does, he has only been there a few months, and none of these players are his. But what we can say is that he changed the game yesterday. He won us the game. He got us in the semi-final. Now, if he goes on to win the Europa League, then you know what, you can herald him as this genius, because Man United should never be in the Champions League this season. But if Man United qualify for the Champions League season, that is, testament to Ruben Amorim and his staff, because we are nowhere near, and we're not. We play when we want to play. This is what I've been saying for a long. Yesterday I was talking about this. I was talking about culture. I was talking about application. I was talking about mentality. That we can play when we want to play. When we're on the front foot, you know what we can do. When we play, we threaten. But it just seems like we don't do this often enough. Of course. GK, big up GK. We did it was lovely, my friend. Big up Steve. How you doing? Good morning, Steve. How you feeling, mate? A good finisher, absolutely. Without a good finisher, we had Harry Maguire. He's our best finisher at the moment. Goodness me. Hi, sir. How are you? We always make things difficult for us. The last 10 minutes was very special yesterday. Great character. It's something that big up Lisa. How you doing? It's something that, we haven't seen too often recently, isn't it? So this is what I'm saying, that it's not perfect. We know we're nowhere near where we need to be. We can't play like that against Athletic Bilbao. We'll lose. We need to play a lot better. We need to defend a lot better as a unit, not just the goalkeeper, the back three as well. Need to defend better. We can see too much spaces in the midfield. And to be honest, we need to improve. But what a finish. And you know what? These are the moments in football that you enjoy it. You should enjoy it because these will be replayed for years to come. If Man United go on to win the Europa League, this game would be known as a classic. The time Man United were 4-2 down against Lyon and then came back and won 5-4, and then ended up winning the Europa League. And that is what fine margins are. History making, the butterfly effect. At the end of the day, Ruben Amorim had big decisions to make yesterday. Big decisions at halftime and extra time. You were losing, and he made it happen. He made it happen, and the fair play. Because Lisa, Garnacho self yesterday, Holland made good runs in the box. He didn't deserve. Lisa, look, you know what? What I would say is that Garnacho, what he has to do, he has to learn to pass the ball when the player is open. He's got to learn that. He has to learn that. I shouldn't have to tell him. He's played a lot of football in his life. He's grown up playing football. He needs to look up. He's a little bit too selfish. And ultimately, that could have cost us the game yesterday. There was an opportunity for Garnacho to score that went straight at the goalkeeper, and that could have been 3-0. He's very rash, and he needs to improve because the regression is a little bit obvious now, and he needs to pick it up because when you play for Manchester United, you need to work on your game. You need to work on your game. And if you carry on doing the same mistakes over and over again, you know what I'm saying? It's like it just makes me point the finger at you, because we're not asking for Garnacho to do amazing things. We're looking for the right choice. Easy passes into the box, things like that, getting that ball into the box and giving Rasmus a chance. And this is the problem that Rasmus has. I'm not going to say that Rasmus can't do it himself as well. Great strikers make things happen themselves as well. Rasmus doesn't seem to make anything happen for himself. And that's one thing as well. Rasmus can't get the ball out of his feet and start running at defenders and bury one from 30 yards. He can't do that. I've seen great strikers at Manchester United, and I've seen them do that loads of times. When they don't get the ball, they make things happen. When someone slams the door in your face, build your own door. That's what I've been saying for all my life. You know what I mean? And that's what I would say. Shaw looked very overweight, Philip. Big up, Philip. Hope you're doing well. Dorgo needs time. Amas did well. Casemiro world class, was class, I said. Set up the comeback, involved all 3 goals. And that is what Casemiro is all about. He brought his experience into the game yesterday. He brought his experience and showed what he's all about. Because you know what? He's had a lot of criticism over the last year, but I feel like he's been very good this last few months. I really do. I think he's played well this last few months, and I think credit where credit's due in regards to Casemiro. We need players like Casemiro right now. Right now, we need players like Casemiro who are experienced, personality, mentality, who's witnessed winning in European competitions. We need him. We need Casemiro, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I was so pleased with him yesterday. Set up a penalty, and scored a goal, didn't he? And brilliant from Casemiro yesterday. And long may it continue. JK, and until we're not trying, we don't know whether we are capable of winning a tough match or not. Instead of dropping shoulders like Shaw. Look, Luke Shaw was responsible for one of the goals. I've forgotten what goal it was, but he was responsible for. I think it was the 3-2 goal or the 4-2 goal? The 3-2 goal. He was responsible for the 3-2 goal, and you know what? I just think it's over for Luke Shaw. I mean, as much as I supported Luke Shaw over the years, I think it's over for him. I don't see a future for Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw needs to leave Manchester United. I really do. I think he should leave Man United for his own career. He doesn't look fit. I mean, I'm surprised he looks as hefty, as big as he did. He looked a little bit overweight. No offense. I'm not fat shaming or anything like that for the sensitive type. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that he looks a little bit unfit to me, and he doesn't look like he's been going to the gym every single day. When you go to the gym every single day, like footballers do, they're paid to go to the gym. They're paid to keep fit. You don't look like that. You don't look like that. And he looked a bit overweight, absolutely. Big up, Shaw. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning. What a game. It's basically the Timo version of 99 photos. It's like 1999 light, isn't it, at the end of the day? Absolutely. 1999 light. Look, you know what? This is a taster of things that used to be, what we used to do, I'm privileged to have witnessed 1999. I'm privileged to have seen it with my own eyes. I will never forget it. I'm grateful eternally for that moment, those moments that we witnessed. And I hope that the people who didn't get to witness that get to see it one day. I hope that they get to see something similar. But the game yesterday gave us a glimpse. No, it's not the same as the Champions League final, and some of the games that we played in the league and stuff, but it is a glimpse of what we used to experience not week in, week out, but quite regularly. You know what I mean? And it wasn't all roses. You know what I mean? And fluffy clouds at Man United all the time. We were losing sometimes, even under Sir Alex Ferguson, in particular in Europe. And we came back, and that is what epitomized Man United. That is where Teddy Sheringham said it. He said the most beautiful thing in the world is when Man United is watching Man United chase a game. That is what Teddy Sheringham said. And that's what we used to do. We used to flood that box. So we used to get people in the box, and we used to be intense. But the difference between this Man United and that Man United is that this Man United don't do it often enough. They don't do it often enough. They don't fight like they did yesterday. Every game should be like that when Man United are losing. Absolutely. Steve. Sal, a bit cheered off with Garnacho still chasing shots from crazy position. He just doesn't like a pass to Rasmus. Steve, you know what the thing is, right, mate? The thing is that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And if you don't improve at Manchester United, you know where it's going to happen, isn't it? You're going to be shown the door. I'm pretty certain that Ruben Amorim wasn't happy with his decision making. It could have cost us the Europa League. It could have cost us over 100 million. Not winning the Europa League. It could have cost us that. That is how deep it is with Garnacho yesterday. And to be honest with you, we were very fortunate yesterday. When it went to 2-2 and then 3-2 to Lyon, we were looking at those chances from Garnacho and thinking, my goodness me. If we did lose that game, he's very lucky because the knives were out for Garnacho yesterday. The knives were out for Garnacho. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I hope he improves. I really do. I still give him the benefit of the doubt. Still a young player, of course. But he needs to improve dramatically in regards to his decision making. Because I like him when he gets the ball. He gets the ball, he runs forward, he brings the team forward. But when he gets to that last decision, that vital moment, he makes the wrong decision more times than not. And that is what needs to change. Absolutely. Leeson, a heart attack match. Absolutely. It was, for me, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, guys. And it was horrible. It was very, very stressful, of course. Absolutely. We did not capitulate. Well, the thing is, GK, we capitulated when they scored the first goal. Like, for example, Man United seem to be these days, as soon as something bad happens, we seem to panic and we seem to let teams back into the game. And even, I can't remember the game, but we went down to 10 men and then straight away they scored after 1 minute. We're the only team that does that. We're very, very mentally flawed sometimes. And from going to 2-0 up at Old Trafford, Lyon going down to 10 men and then going down 4-2. That's scary, to be honest with you. That's scary. No team in the Premier League would do that. I'm even going down to Ipswich Town and Southampton and things like that. They wouldn't do that. They would keep it tight. They'd keep it solid. Luckily enough, we showed the perseverance and character to get back into the game. Good morning, Randy. How you feeling, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Shah, I think Amorim coached a win yesterday and the players masterminded a defeat. We were 4-2 down, but fair enough to the players stepped up. Ruben Amorim coached an easy win yesterday. It should have been 4-0, 5-0, 5-1, something like that to Man United yesterday. Absolutely. When it was 4-2 to Lyon, a 3-2 to Lyon at halftime, I think it was an extra time, Ruben Amorim changed the tactics. He played Maguire. He took a risk. And he did well. And Ruben Amorim needs his flowers for that. He absolutely changed the game. Excuse me. I got a little bit of a groggy cough after last night. My throat is gone. Definitely. My throat's gone from last night. Randy, Fergie time. Let's go. Yeah, it's a blast from the past. Nostalgia, isn't it? Nostalgia. The kid crying in the stand yesterday when we were losing, it was so heart-touching, but in the end, the smile, happy again. That is... Football is a beautiful thing, isn't it? Sometimes when you see football and you see moments like that, is lovely, and maybe in the 90s, in the Sir Alex Ferguson days, it wouldn't be so bad because we think we still can come back into this. But yesterday, you just couldn't see Man United because Man United don't score goals. And for Man United to come back, we got a little bit of luck with the penalty. Yeah, I agree. It was a VAR. We got luck with that. That was good. But we should have had a penalty with Maguire as well when he pulled the shirt, the Lyon player. But the win was brilliant. And Maguire, the header was brilliant. I loved it. It was a beautiful moment, of course. Absolutely. Long may these things continue. After the crap season last week, the Man United fans deserve that. Look, the Man United fans that have been calm, that have seen one of our worst season in the Premier League, in the top division in history, guys, apart from the 1973-74 season, we deserve that. We deserve that because we stuck by this team. We stuck by them. We haven't turned our back on this team and we carry on supporting the team. Man, no one deserves success more than Manchester United. I'll say that for now. No one deserves it more than Manchester United. And if it is a spark that it will ignite our future, then you know what? Let's do that because yesterday was a spark for me. And I think we need to feed off that. We need to build character. It's character building at the end of the day, isn't it? When you win games like that, it is character building. That's what we need to do. And to be honest with you, yesterday showed me something that I haven't seen in these players. And it showed me that, yes, you are capable of doing that. You are capable. You can do that. If you fight to the end, you can do that. And I'm delighted with that, of course. Maguire has become a secret weapon, though. Maguire is a secret weapon, isn't he? Maguire, put him up front. He's dangerous. Get that cross in the box. He is dangerous. Shah, Ruben Amorim, who came in mid-season with a completely different system, no preseason, no transfer market, and is still in the Europa League semi-finals. Undefeated, Shah, absolutely. Distinctive style of play. Off-field issues up to your eyeballs. You know, none of the players have played this system before. And coming into this football team in a toxic environment, a mess, to be honest with you. And to do that was absolutely phenomenal. And you have to give praise. There are people who have already... The thing is, there are some people, guys, there's some people who have already sacrificed themselves in regards to saying Ruben Amorim, all this business. There's some people. So now every time Ruben Amorim wins, they're going to call it a fluke. They're going to say it's only the Europa League. They're going to say things like that because they've been made to look like prats, to be honest with you. And if he goes on to win this Europa League, they will be prats. You know what I mean? Because look, they deal with things in such a simple ABC 2D kind of way. They don't look at things from angles, from a proper perspective. You know what I mean? Some of us look at things from a proper 5K, 4K, 3D perspective. Some people look at things in a 2D perspective. They don't look at that, you know, and they don't look at the ins and outs and the contextual situations in regards to football. They don't look at that. They just look at, they say, I had this decision. That is my decision. I'm sticking by that, and I worship my ego. That is all it is with these people. And to be honest with you, it is what it is. Right, guys, I'm going to put up a poll. I need you to let me know who was your man of the match. So I'm going to put up the poll now, guys. So let me put this poll up. So I'm going to give you my player ratings of the game, guys. God, the player ratings, they changed as the match went on. They changed as the match went on, didn't they? So... guys, I'm going to write a poll now. Let me just write that. Who was your man of the match? So number one is Casemiro. Number two is Bruno. Number three is who was the people have done? Who's the other one? Who was the other one? Casemiro. Who's the other one I put on? Let me look at my Twitter. 1 second. Twitter man of the match is Casemiro. So I'm going to do it with my community on here. So let's have a look. So Maguire. So Maguire and Ugarte. So we're going to do Maguire. And lastly, we're going to do Ugarte. So who was your man of the match? And drop me a comment if you think someone else should be man of the match, guys. Drop me a comment and let me know. Ciao. I'm fully judge Ruben Amorim for next season when he gets his own players. Hopefully he gets his own players, Ciao. We are on fraud watch with Ineos, of course, guys. They need to back this manager. You know, at the end of the day, he's doing, as I said many times, he's going into a sword fight with a baguette. That is what they've given Ruben Amorim. A sword fight with a baguette. You know what I mean? And we all know what will happen if you go into a sword fight with a baguette. Tyborg. Let's not forget that it was Amorim who put Maguire up front as a striker in the end, and it was a masterclass move. People tend to forget this game-changing decision. Absolutely, Tyborg. Conveniently, they forget it, isn't it? Conveniently, they were, you know what? It doesn't fit their narrative that it was Ruben Amorim who actually tactically won that game yesterday. They won't look at that. He won't take the plaudits. You know, he won't do that. Because Sir Alex Ferguson used to do that all the time, isn't it, Tybo? He used to do that all the time, throw everyone up front. We all remember what happened in 1992, 1993, don't we? You know what I mean? We remember what that happened to that. We remember what Steve Bruce done, don't we? And Alex Ferguson used to do it. And it showed me great characteristics in Ruben Amorim yesterday. That, you know what, he could have easily just thrown in the towel. But I saw him at halftime and extra time, and he's there with his notepad, with his clipboard, and he was just looking at doing tactics. And someone came up to him and he just said, move out the way, move out the way. He didn't want to talk to anyone. And you know what? That is what he was doing. That is what he's planning for. Big up, Tyborg. Should we get Malik Fofana? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Things started falling apart after Mazza was removed. Yeah. Shaw wasn't there, mate. Shaw wasn't there, Randy. He's not fit. Good morning, Sal. I never felt something like that before. Casemiro brought his old Champions League playbook to last night. Absolutely. Big up, Easton. Big up. I will back Cas until he leaves. Absolutely. We need to back everyone, Randy. We need to back everyone. The only thing we can do is keep the positivity and back these players until the end of the season. And what happens in the summer will happen in the summer, of course, guys. Shaw seems enjoyable. He looks very overweight, mate. He looks very overweight. Yesterday's Stretford handle was lively as per. Absolutely, my friend. Big up, GK. Casimir playing well to stay. I don't know if he's going to leave, to be honest with you. I don't know if anyone will pay his wages, but he done very well yesterday, and credit where it's due. Yesterday, Stretford stand, absolutely big up. I read that one. Fat cyber, but it's more like throwing the kitchen into the sink settings. Throwing the sink, kitchen sink, yeah. Throwing the sink out, yeah. But no, but it's not easy to do that. It takes guts. It takes good management. He brought on a mass, he changed the formation, and it was brilliant. It worked, and you get the plaudits. We criticize him for making the wrong decisions. You know what I mean? Oh, he had family reasons. Okay, I didn't know that. I had hundreds of conversations with myself during the game. It was encapsulated the love-hate contrast in its extremity. I had the feeling time out throughout, from swearing to crying to screaming. It was incredible, Tyborg. And you know what? It must have been an emotional night for you with Frankfurt and all that. And you know what? Unlucky with that. And then seeing Man United down 4-2 against 10 men against Lyon. You know what? There was no coming back from that, Man United lose 4-2 to Lyon against 10 men for a lot of the game. There was no coming back from that, guys. There was going to be an onslaught ready for Ruben Amorim. There was going to be something huge. Thankfully, the heavens opened up and Man United made something happen out of nothing. And you know what? We have to enjoy this. I'm over the moon. I was emotional yesterday, angry, but I never gave up. I could have switched off the stream and said, F this, I'm done. But we never gave up. We never gave up. And I said, no, you know what? You never know. I was thinking in my head, you never know. We get one goal, it could still change. This team, it seemed unlikely, some may say, but football has a funny way of slapping you in the face, isn't it, sometimes? And you think like you're giving up 1 minute and then you're winning the next minute. Guys, I want to let you know, I want to ask you guys, because this is very conflicted opinion. What did you make of Onana yesterday? Some people were telling me Onana had a good game yesterday, right? He had a good game. My personal feeling, guys, is that Onana doesn't organize the defense. He's not a good organizer of a defense. He gets caught flat-footed. He goes on the wrong foot. And it's like what I spoke about yesterday in regards to the Europa League final in 2017 when he was left flat-footed a couple of times by Man United. And I just feel like he's a little bit flat-footed sometimes. I always think he's on the wrong side of the goal, always, and doesn't position himself well. I don't know what you guys think of that. Let me know, because a lot of people were trying to defend him yesterday, like saying he played well. He made a couple of good saves, but he did parry it out, the wrong way and stuff. But you expect good saves. You're a goalkeeper at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And I want to know your feelings on it. That game was a torture to watch, but wins a win. We have to prepare for Athletic Bilbao with no pushovers. Hopefully Athletic might be a much tougher game as well. I need to watch the match again with White. Maybe big up Easton. Big up. Tyborg, that's a sign of old talking to yourself. UK Darren is on one. Absolutely. Where is Jim, our brother from down under? I don't know, Randy. Disappeared. Jim's an emotional guy, Randy. And, I don't know, maybe something was said which upset him. I don't know. But, Jim hasn't been around for quite a long time, to be honest, guys. Absolutely. And it is what it is. We want the ride or diers here. We want the ride or diers, the people who are here regardless. You know what I mean? The people are here at Stretford Post every single morning, every single evening, sometimes afternoon. And that's what we want. We want the ride or diers. That's what we want in this stream. And Jim is an emotional soul. He's a lovely guy, but he's a very, very emotional man. And, you can't say nothing. Otherwise, I'll get 100 comments underneath my video at the end. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Listen, if we get making mistakes at the back, we will get severely punished by Bilbao. Listen, you know what? Bilbao are 10 times better than Lyon, and we're going to have to play our best. But what fills me with confidence, Listen, is that we played the likes of Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal this season and held our own, and if we can play anywhere near that level, it would be great. I don't know what's going on with De Ligt. It'd be great to have De Ligt back. That would be good. It'd be great to have Ahmad back. Hopefully, Ahmad will be back very soon. I don't know if he's going to be back for this game. It's 1st of May, isn't it? The semi-final. So the 1st of May, we're playing Athletic Bilbao away from home. And hopefully Ahmad will be back by then, which we need Ahmad, absolutely. Good morning, Revert7. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Centre forwards finished from Maguire last night. What a result. Showed great character. He's a good centre forward, to be honest with you. Absolutely brilliant. Good positioning. Ramantana, absolutely, my friend. Big up. Big up. Big up, RMCF. Ruben Amram outers will stay quiet when we win, but when we don't, it's Amram. The system is the problem. The problem, this is the problem with them. Their head is the problem. They don't know what they want at the end of the day. They worship their opinion. They've sacrificed themselves too early. They don't understand that if Ruben Amram wins this Europa League, that is an absolutely phenomenal achievement. Listen, and I've seen trebles. I've seen doubles. I've seen doubles. I've seen the Champions League and League doubles. I've seen that. I've seen it all. And the thing is, right, these people supporting Man United 5 minutes think that, you know what, Ruben Amram out, reactionary fan base mentality, which is ridiculous. We're not going to go anywhere like that with that type of mentality, guys. Ruben Amram out, all this business. You don't win things like that. You've got to have an element of patience. You can tell that Ruben Amram is a very good manager. You can tell by his persona. You can tell by the way he celebrates, the way he huddles his team around, the clipboard yesterday at halftime in extra time, and Man United won the game from being 4-2 down. I mean, that takes a lot. That takes skill, and I will give praise where praise is due. At the end of the day, Tybog, I know, Darren. Thank God I am never alone, so it's not boring, and I can always discuss United with my other person. Big up, Tybog. It's good to have you here every day, my friend. Good to have you here. Revert7, people have agendas. Madness, mate. It's madness. People live on their agendas. You know what I mean? I'm not absolute with things. I don't have exclusively stick to a opinion and leave it like that forever. I want these players to prove me something. I don't care if I like that player. I'm not here to like. I'm here for Manchester United. I want Manchester United to win. That is what I'm here for. I'm not here for my opinion. I'm here for Man United. If I was wrong 100 times out of 100 days, but Man United are successful, I'm happy. That's all I care about. Unfortunately, there's a section of the fan base that want agendas and want their opinion to be right rather than Man United winning. If it goes against their opinion, they're not interested at the end of the day. Big up. It has to be Tybog. At the moment, it is 2 assists and a penalty. It has to be Casemiro. It was an enormous performance yesterday from Casa. Absolutely, Tybog. Man of match is so important. Absolutely. So Casa is a man of match so far. Ruben Amram, Man United fans, Man United mad. Big up RMCF. I like that. You're right. Ineos are on fraud watch. Absolutely, child. This one, they are on fraud watch, mate. They're on fraud watch. That pass on Casemiro sealed it for me. Brilliant. Big up. Casemiro gets my vote. Big up, Randy. Me too. Of course. No point if Ineos are on fraud watch because they are already frauds. I know, don't trust them. There you go. Well, this summer is very, very important for us going forward. So they need to be held accountable. Spurs are 100% going to the final. I expect them to win versus Bodo Glimt over 2 legs. We never know. Bodo Glimt are the shock team in the Europa League this season. They've done incredibly well. They knocked out Lazio. Let's not forget Lazio. Right? Lazio came on top of the Europa League group, guys. They came on top of the Europa League group, so they're no mugs, and they went there and went toe-to-toe with Lazio. Tottenham should win that game, but you never know. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. I hope they don't. I hope Tottenham don't win. A roller coaster match. Thankfully, the ending was worth it. Absolutely, it's beautiful. Revert 7. It's beautiful. We never had a Maguire problem. We never had a manager problem. Our problem is the players with weak personality. A culture of the football club, Randy, which I've been talking about for weeks and months and years. The culture of the football club comes from the top, resonates to the bottom. The mentality of those Man United players infects other Man United players, which is why when people say, "Oh, we got a different team now," it infects other players who come into the football club. The culture at Man United is toxic, and this can only change if it is changed from the top. Unfortunately, we can't get rid of the Glazers, but what we can do is what Ruben Amram is trying to instill by getting rid of Anthony, getting rid of Rashford, is trying to instill a new culture at Man United. And we have to back Ruben Amram, and we have to believe in Ruben Amram. That's what we have to do as fans. That's what we have to do. And I believe in him, absolutely. I'd say that, I say this, when we beat Athletic, I like that, Bilbao, it's not going to be easy. We could win the tournament. Rasta, I think if you're absolutely right, Rasta. If we win against Athletic Bilbao, I think we win the tournament. I do. I think the confidence from that would be absolutely so. But Athletic Bilbao, look, the final of the Europa League is in Bilbao. So they're going to be really up for this game. They're going to want to play the final, guys. They're going to want to play the final. Hopefully the referee doesn't want Bilbao to play the final as well. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We don't get a dodgy referee, of course. Onana made some few saves. So sorry, 6.7, maybe 6.3 because of Seko. Absolutely. He made a couple of good saves, very good saves, but he also made a couple of dodgy ones, of course. Do I fear Tottenham in the final? That's like saying, do I fear a Teletubby? Fearing Tottenham doesn't come into the same equation. That's like saying, do I fear Teletubby? Do I fear a Teletubby? Tottenham. Tottenham, I never thought I would compare Tottenham to a Teletubby, but do I fear Tottenham Hotspur? It's like saying, do I fear, as I said, a Teletubby? Do I fear Barney the dinosaur? And things like that. It's like that. I don't fear Tottenham, no. I mean, Tottenham are the serial bottlers in history. If Tottenham has one thing that Tottenham are, it is the serial bottles of football history. Absolutely. Agogi was okay yesterday. That's it. He made some mistakes, Rasta. We have to give it, but he made some good saves as well. He did okay for me. I don't want Spurs in the final. If we go through, we take who we take. Just get through. That's what I say. We take who we take. We can't control. We concentrate on what we can control, which is getting through to the final. And then we look after the final. Guys, we beaten Man City in FA Cup final. You know what I mean? We beaten Man City. Pep Guardiola's Man City in the FA Cup final last year. We can win these finals, guys. We can win these finals. The comeback was phenomenal, and we finally saw a team fighting for each other as a team. We got a glimpse of the start of the team spirit. Absolutely, Home Design LA, big up yourself. Thank you so much. Good to have you back. Absolutely, mate. We saw a glimpse of team spirit, and as I said, it's a spark, isn't it? It's a spark. Now, let me get in, guys, quickly to the player ratings. Of course, guys, I'm going to get this in real quickly. Guys, this is the player ratings from yesterday's game. Here we are. This is the player ratings. Now, 6.5 for Onana. Some great saves he made, but he made a couple of errors as well. We have to admit that. Mazraoui came off at halftime. So it was Mazraoui gets a 6.2 for me. Maguire gets a 7.3. The winning goal, of course. The winning goal, guys. He won the game for us, but had a poor game in regards to defensively. Euro had a 7. I mean, that clearance with his head. Who saw that clearance with his head, guys? It reminded me of the old Phil Jones classic, didn't it? Dalot, 6.3, got a goal, steady, not fantastic. Couple of crosses he misplaced, but it was okay. It was okay for Dalot standards. 7.4, Ugarte was brilliant. The unsung hero yesterday was Ugarte. Brilliant, scored a goal, was solid in the midfield. I thought it was brilliant. Casemiro, 8.1. You know what? 2 assists. And, this guy won a penalty. This guy was brilliant yesterday. The Casemiro that we all been searching for. The Casemiro that we had in the first season under, Eric Ten Hag. That was the Casemiro we saw yesterday. Dorgu wasn't the best game for Dorgu, but got a 6.6 for me. He worked tirelessly, and he got a 6.6 for me. But, what wasn't his best game yesterday. Needs to pick up the standards, in my opinion, but still very, very young. He's 20 years old. We have to believe that. We have to remember that. And coming to a Man United team midway through the season. So we have to remember that, of course. So we can't criticize him too much, of course. Fernandes, 7.4. Good game from Fernandes yesterday. He was everywhere, passing, making things happen again. The only real one who makes things happen in our squad, of course, creative-wise, brilliant. Casemiro gets Garnacho gets a 5.9. Wrong decision making, good up until the final third, but when it comes to making the decision, he makes the wrong decision, and this he needs to pick up, in my opinion. He's 20, he can still learn, but you know what? I want to see more from Garnacho. I want to see more better passes and more better decision making from Garnacho. I think he's better on the right. When he plays on the right, he is more inclined to pass when he's on the right. But he need, as he could have cost us the game yesterday, and that is the biggest thing. That's why he gets a 5.9 for me, because he could have cost us the game yesterday, and we would have been out of the Europa League. Rasmus Højlund didn't do much wrong, didn't do much in regards to goal scoring threat. Didn't get the ball from him. It could have all changed, of course, if he got a couple of balls in from Garnacho, of course. Could have changed, but Rasmus gets a 6.1 for me. I think average score. Not the best, but you know what? It is a graveyard shift playing for Man United. But one thing I would advise Rasmus Højlund is that he has to make things happen himself sometimes. He has to make things happen himself, in my humblest of opinion. You know, I like the guy, I like the player, you know, and I want him to succeed. But you know what? He's going to have to get that ball and take the game by the scruff of the neck sometimes. And if no one's passing to you, as I said, if the door slams in your face, if someone slams the door in your face, build your own door. Make something happen. Absolutely. In regards to the substitutions last night, Luke Shaw gets a 5.9. Pretty poor when he came on, if I'm being real. Gave away a goal. You know, it wasn't good when he came on. Looked unfit, unhealthy, whatever you want to say. Mount done all right for me. Mason Mount done all right. He got a 7 for me. I felt he controlled the things. I think he did okay. And I do believe that he's a lot more controlled in that area of the pitch where the number 10, I think he's more controlled than a Garnacho, for example. I think that Mason Mount should be playing there more often. It's a shame that Xerxes injured. I would have liked to see Mount and Xerxes playing in that position. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Hopefully, we get Ahmad back soon, and you know what? We'll have more choices in that position. Kobe Mainoo, brilliant goal. 7.5 for me, brilliant goal. The Mainoo that we remember. We cannot sell Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo is such an important player for Manchester United. A young player. I mean, the way he opened his body in that opportunity and bent it into the corner was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, class, world class, some may say. Absolutely. In regards to Ericsson, didn't do much. 6.3 for me. It was okay. Harry Amass, a 6.6. I was impressed with Harry Amass when he come on, guys. I was impressed. I mean, he came in a pressure cooker of Man United, and he had a lot of pressure on him coming into that game. First European game for Harry Amass. So congratulations in regards to that. Harry Amass fan club lives on, of course. Hopefully, Harry Amass, gets more opportunities playing for Manchester United, of course, guys. In regards to Ruben Amram, he gets a 7.5 for me. And the reason he gets a 7.5, because he changed the game that won us the game. He changed the game that won us the game. He did coach a winning game. But unfortunately, some of these players had other ideas. In my opinion, and they blew it, you know. But his tactical decisions in extra time in particular won us that game. And I'm pleased with it. And you know what? Fantastic. Brilliant. It's a far cry from what happened on the weekend, of course. The weekend was awful, but this was good, of course, guys. Absolutely. Where was we? People, let's get back to where I was. Did okay. I don't mind who we get, Shah. I really don't mind who we get. Even we get Spurs, we get Bodo Glimt. I don't care. Best thing for Man United to do is concentrate on what we have to do. Is concentrate on getting through ourselves. That's what we need to do. We need to concentrate on getting through. Get through, we play anyone. It doesn't matter. You're going to play a difficult team in the final. In fact, it might even be better to play Tottenham. And I'll tell you why. Bodo Glimt are the unknown. Bodo Glimt are the underdogs. You know what I mean? And, it would be horrible to lose to Bodo Glimt in the final like that. The comeback was phenomenal. Excuse me. And we finally saw a team fight for each other as a team. We got a glimpse of the start of team spirit. Absolutely, yeah. I think I read down. Big up, Woksam. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Devils. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Hope you recovered. Woksam was angry yesterday. I saw it yesterday, getting angry. Absolutely. We all were. We need Ahmed and Dalit back for the semi. I think we're getting back. And we have to drift them into the team back. Obviously, very important, Ahmad, now. We're given that Xerxes out. It's very important. The only unbeaten team in Europe. Hopefully, we continue that run. Unbelievable. If we win it, unbeaten. Guys, we won the Champions League in 98-99 unbeaten. We won the Champions League in 2007, 2008 unbeaten. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's an omen. I don't know. What's that? No way in hell we continue with Anana. I just don't think he controls the area. He doesn't control his box. It's not just about conceding goals. It's about an overall play that I look at. And he just fills me with dread. His positioning is poor. He stands on his line too often. He pushes the ball out to the opposition. Yes, he had some good saves yesterday, but the mistakes keep outweighing the saves. And we do need another goalkeeper. Absolutely. We have no choice now at the moment. I was absent March and I missed you guys. Big up, Randy. Missed you too, my friend. Hope you're doing well, my guy. How can anyone not see what Amram is doing with the least? Absolutely, no one wants to see it. It's that they refuse to see it, Oksana, because they've already sacrificed themselves and put themselves out there as Ruben Amram outers. They've already done that, so they're sticking by that, and they're sticking by their opinion because they worship their opinion. They don't really support the football club. They're just worshiping their opinion. Natty, it will sleep like Atletico will be defensively. Are they good? Very good, Natty. Very, very good Athletic. I think they've got the 5th best defensive record in Spain. Fourth or 5th best defensive record in Spain. They have. They're not that bad. They are better than Real Sociedad. We're gonna have to. They have got a world-class player, of course, Williams. The 2 Williams, I think, they got on both sides, and but they're going to be a handful. They're not the hardest team to beat. We play hard teams in the Premier League every week, so it's going to be a difficult game, but it's not a game that Man United can't win over 2 legs. Man United play away from home first game. We get a good result in Spain, in Basque country, of course, and then if we do that, we can bring it back to Old Trafford. Be great to get a lead this time, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult game. Don't even mention Frank Vassell. I never seen a more undeserved win as Tottenham win last night, but that's football. We move on. At least United and Frankfurt can't meet now. It was my nightmare. I would have liked to see that, though. At least you would have been happy either way. Big up, Tybog. So I can say you do your research on everything. You post. Most of these content creators are just brown envelopes. Absolutely, mate. Thanks, brother. Thanks, man. Thanks. People just opinions. That's it. They're just walking opinions, talking heads, as I call them. And they just, I try not to look at things in a sensationalist trying to point of view and try and be subjective with everything. Even if it is my favorite player. And I like Garnacho. It's one of my. I really like Garnacho, and Rasmus as well. But I'm going to criticize them when it's time to criticize. Unfortunately, as you said, there you go. You said it there perfectly. Big up. Good morning, Asif. How you feeling? The morning after the night before. How you feeling, my friend? Hope you're good. Welcome back, Randy. Big up, Randy. Bilbao will be very hard to beat. Yes, they will. They'll be very, very hard. But you know what? Mountains are there to be climbed, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once famously said, didn't he? At the end of the day. And the final is in Bilbao. Yeah, that's a good thing we're not playing Bilbao in the final, Shah. That's one positive, isn't it? If Bilbao get to the final, they will win it. They will win it. If they get to the final, they will win it. I can't see Tottenham beating them in Basque. This is Man United beat Bilbao. I think Man United win this Europa League. This is our final for me. I'm not being disrespectful to Bodo Glimt or Tottenham, but I do believe that this is our final. I really do. The game was the mother of all comebacks. Cassian was insane, absolutely. 2 assists to Mainu and Maguire, and a plenty hangover is still on. Have you watched the goals? I have, mate. I've watched them on TikTok. I watched them on Instagram. I watched them on Facebook. I watched them on YouTube. I've seen it all because I want to see different. I wanted to see different commentary on the game. I love them things. It's the opposite of when we lose. It's just. Those sort of things. And as I said at the top of the show, you've got to appreciate and enjoy these moments because, many of people weren't raised in the Sir Alex Ferguson period like we were. And, this was a glimpse of what we used to witness regularly as Man United fans. And I'm still seeing people getting negative, enjoy the moment, enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, we had no right to beat Lyon yesterday, but we found a way to beat Lyon yesterday. We found a way to beat Lyon today. And that is what football's about. You don't always play well. We hardly play well, but you don't always win. You don't always win. And no one has a divine right to win football matches. Even under Alex Ferguson times, as I said, we didn't have everything our way. We didn't have everything plain sailing. It wasn't always hunky-dory, bed of roses and things like that. We had difficult times. But these difficult times, adversity to the stars, as I've always said, these difficult times can shape your future if you get through them. These difficult times, make you stronger. That's what I would say. And I think that hopefully that is a sign of things to come. Of course. Revert 7. Don't lose Bilbao. We'll take them back to Old Trafford. I hope so, Revert 7. I hope so. I hope they go in a bad run of form. We could have had the best transfer, mate, if we had the deals earlier. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, Randy. If Fofana looks a promising player, would you like to sign Cherki from what we saw? We'll have to wait and see. I like Cherki. Ali said, I like Shirky. I think he'd be good for Man United. I think he'd improve at Man United. I think he'd be good. I think he's a very good player. Spurs still bottle it against Bodo. I hope they do. But Bodo ain't easy. The same are basics. He just overdo them to make them look difficult. Absolutely. Waxan, you're awake, my friend. You're awake. But quality says 100% goal. He is forever just a standing ball watching. Onana is a clown. He is shy. I rate him a 4. There you go. I don't disagree, but I agree with what you said about that. You know, he makes basic saves look spectacular for the cameras, as they say. You remember that? For the cameras. He makes it, he saves for the cameras, and I agree with that. I thought Ugarte had a brilliant game sitting down. Absolutely. Yeah. People hating on Ugarte, they just lack it. They lack the knowledge. It's just they don't understand. They just don't understand it. It wasn't the clearance. It was the head block by Euro. Yeah, the head block, mate. That was amazing. That's why you got, amazing head block. Phil Jones-esque. Dorgu is ever in the making out. I agree, mate. Give him time. Casemiro was class in the first season. Demonstrated that last night. Fantastic. The thing with what I've noticed about Casemiro is that he needs a run of games. And once he has a run of games, he's unstoppable. Phil Euro. Big up, Shah. Absolutely. If you were a manager, what striker would you want to bring in? For me, there's Gutierrez or Osimhen. I think Gutierrez is going to Arsenal. It's not good for Man United. I think Man United need to qualify for the Champions League. I would like to have an Osimhen in that team. I would. I'm sorry, but I would like to have Osimhen or Gutierrez. Man United need an experienced striker. If we don't get him, there's the next tier down. We could possibly get a Jonathan David or something like that, which would be more suitable for Ineos because he's a free transfer. But I want Osimhen. I got a good feeling about Osimhen. When I think about Osimhen playing for Man United, I see goals. And yeah, absolutely. Shaw, Lenny Jones. Big up. Lenny Jones. Have you seen the new signing, Lenny Jones? Big up. Check in the comment section on the Ugarte post on X. Accounts that were hating on him are quiet since that. That's the thing. He was a beast yesterday. He was an animal yesterday. Absolutely superb yesterday. People just hating. Shaw looked off the pace. Ridiculous challenge for the pen. He looked well overweight, mate. He had a lot of timber on there. Manu not for sale. Absolutely. Big up. That Euro is class. I loved it. And this is why I like Ruben Amorim, Shah. Ruben Amorim is that guy. He's that guy. He's the guy to take us forward. Absolutely. Rasta. That Euro save reminded me of Vidic. He put his head where nobody else would. And Phil Jones did the same. Vidic did the same as well. Absolutely right, Rasta. To add clarity, add to the cherry too, the hearing that Kobe has had the positive tools regarding his contract recent weeks. Another meeting with Omar and it take place. I love the celebration from him. Absolutely. I don't know who Sully Talks is, but yeah, he will sign a new contract, what I'm hearing. Well, our first new signing, yeah, it's like a new signing. Mainly showed some stone cold nerves relishing the Wolves game. That's world class, isn't it? The top draw finish. Can someone find me a slab head? I want that big head to kiss to win. Absolutely. Big up Maguire. Of course, guys. Saved it for us, of course. I thought Ineos were looking to sell him because he was a poor profit, apparently demanded 200k a week. I told you guys, don't believe that. It's just planting the seed. He doesn't want to leave the football club. I feel like it will be a hard one, but I'm sure nobody would like to meet us either. Bring it on. No one wants to play. Absolutely, Tyber. You said it there. No one wants to play Manchester United. And fair play to the Lyon manager yesterday, by the way. The Lyon manager did quote to say that, Man United should be in the Champions League. They're a Champions League team. So should Lyon. Do you think behavior of Turkey? Do you think the behavior of Turkey? I don't. What did he do? He enjoyed the game. It's good edge, isn't it? It's good. Good morning, Sonny. What's going on, you legend? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sonny. How are you? Long time. You should have seen Goldbridge. He was almost lost out of breath. He was almost crying, wasn't he? I see. Absolutely. They are one of the who kept leaking. Will look to sell him because cannot sell the spin all the time. I mean, they're planting a seed for us to turn against Manu. I remember, you know what? Remember I said that? They're trying to plant a seed. Casemiro has definitely increased his fitness level. He looks rejuvenated by Amorim and the young players coming on. He's enjoying being part of the rebuild. He also speaks Portuguese. There you go. Yeah, Brazilians speak Portuguese. Big up Home Design LA. Rangers fans were saying that they would rather play Lyon in the semi. Lol. Yeah, well, they're not in the semi. No, so there you go. We must acknowledge the way United opened up against 10 men. We must acknowledge the way United opened up against 10 men. Yeah, we have to look at the negative. We have to improve the coming games. We have to improve. We have to look at it, guys. Absolutely. So you're a player like 25-year-old. Mate, what a signing. What a signing. And credit where it's true. What a bloody signing. Brilliant signing. Absolutely brilliant signing. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Please don't forget, I might be later on. I'll let you know. Keep your notifications on. Please don't forget to smash a like, guys. Please don't forget. And please don't forget to subscribe if you're new, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a positive one. Finally. Glory, Man United. We're going to do this. We can do this, guys. We can do this. Take it easy, guys. Have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for your unwavering support. We're like literally a few, was it 60, 70 away from 10,000 subscribers. Keep the like, keep the subscribing, keep spreading the gospel, guys. And have a great day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. See you later. Peace.